What's up, everyone? I'm Damien,
I'm Nick.
and this is the Aki Culture Club.
What's going on, boys and girls, and everybody in between? Welcome to episode 44,
45.
45 of the Aki Culture
45.
Club. Man, they're getting up there, and we
Mm-hmm.
have a special one for you today.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got today, Damien?
We are going over the season 3 review
Yes.
of everything that we watched, including Damien Gets Fired Up. We're going to
Yes.
rate it. We're going to tell you what we liked, what we didn't like, our surprises, and our not so much surprises. And on top of that, we are going to introduce season 4's newest show, which is 86.
86, which is back from 2 seasons ago, I think.
From the spring, yeah, so 2.
Yeah, so we watched season 1 in the spring, just like heart-wrenching show, and it is back. So we'll definitely go over that later in the episode. But I think we need to start with our continuation. We have this weird, so like we do seasons on this podcast.
Yeah.
And Fena is kind of like, it doesn't follow the rules, maybe because it's kind of American too with Adult Swim. So it's like it's the one that's carrying us over into the next season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And what was it, episode 9 today?
Yeah, episode 9.
Yeah. Just give me your first thoughts, because I have one word to summarize this episode.
So like right off the bat, I thought it was interesting. Okay. I don't know. I laugh because I'm very uncomfortable.
Why are you uncomfortable?
They just burned her mother at the stake. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that happened.
That did happen. So my one word is confusion.
Okay.
When they were going over like the song and the coordinates and vice versa and all of that, I was like that meme where all the numbers are just going through around my head, because I was just completely lost. They ended up with some coordinates from it, but how did they get there? I don't know.
Bro, okay, so you're talking about the second. So this episode was like pretty much broken up into 2 halves. The first half was like talking about like Captain Abel in his early life when he met Helena, which is Fena's mother, and then the second half is just like them figuring out where to go, right? Which same thing here. Like it started off with like her singing the song, and then Yukimaru like singing singing the words while she's singing the melody, whatever. And like all of a sudden it goes from that to them just being like the number and it's written in Roman. And then we flip it to Arabic, and then we'll know, oh my God, I think we should double it. I think we should flip it again. Oh my God, we should flip it this way. And it's like, oh my God. What? That was the most confusing, convoluted, messy, like just exposition I don't know I've ever seen in a show. Like, how the heck did they go from singing a song to understanding the coordinates of where Eden is at? It didn't make any sense.
Dude, I was completely lost, and I'm happy I'm not alone. Like, I even thought to like, I'm going to write down these lyrics and maybe I can decipher it a little bit. And I'm just like, I'm reading them and I'm like, they don't come to our podcast for answers, okay?
We have no idea. We're just as lost as you are. Yeah. We're just as lost. And just the name of the song, like her just like sitting there and her mother's just like, vice versa. She's like, oh my God, I remember it from when I was 3. And it's just like, oh my gosh, man. I have to say, like, I've had no complaints up to this point of the show, but oh my God, that is definitely like a little like, I don't know about that.
Does that whole like just how they came up with that decision, or
just how they came up with talking about like the coordinates? Like, I feel like that could have been explained in a way better way.
Yeah, I would agree. It was just kind of like out of nowhere.
It kind of was.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I didn't vibe with it.
I didn't either. The first half of the episode, though, I thought was great, and confusion is also summarizes that first half for me too. Not confusion of like like what we just went through with the numbers and the complex arithmetic, but confusion of, is Abel the bad guy? Because this little flashback scene sure didn't make him seem like a bad guy. Like he did nothing wrong, really. Maybe, and like, so Helena's a witch.
Yeah.
Right? Like we've kind of went over that before.
Uh-huh.
So like he was under her spell and he's like in love with her, but then she has to have a baby with a king because Franz told her to do that. Something about that's the only way La Pucelle will become La Pucelle. I don't know. It's just confusion, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Utter confusion. And that's the thing that I didn't understand, like from the jump. So like, yeah, she's a witch, but again, it feels like Fenna's version of a witch. It's like I don't know if they're like actively a witch or it's just like their passiveness and like it's just their aura around them makes people attracted to them and wants to do things for them. But it just certainly felt like Captain Abel wasn't like under a spell, perhaps, but just was like in love with her because she was the only friend that he had. And she also admitted before being burned at the stake that she loved him and she was the only person that he ever loved.
Yeah. And now Fenna is the spitting image of Helena. And there was some like one saying or quote where she was just like, if you find the child, it like it's meant to be or something. So he kind of cheated fate there because he's looking for the child.
Which is, yeah, he's looking for Fenna, right?
Right.
And is his father the king, though?
Yeah. Yes.
So, like, Fenna's actually his half sister.
Yes.
Because... Like, are we also on the same page there, right?
Yeah, because the king got Helena pregnant, even though she was married or married to Franz, who we thought Fenna's dad was, but it's not. There's some, it's, I don't know, man. What's going on?
I don't know. Wait, was Franz the dude with the butler that she was with? Yes. That wasn't Franz, was it?
I think it was, yeah.
And she eloped with him?
Yes. Some weird shit going. It's like almost cult like the way that she was talking about like Eden and the future and the child. It's like it was like weird mysticism.
It does now sound very cult like. You're right. It sounds like they're speaking in abstractness.
Yeah.
Like Eden is a place. I'm going to go to Eden. And then she gets burned alive at the stake. And you're like, wait, is Eden when you die? And then you hear Fenna talk about Eden. Like, we're going to go to the coordinates of Eden. You're just like, that doesn't make any sense. Or then Eden isn't a thing that you go to. Eden is a place that comes to you, or like someone will come to you for Eden. It's like, that just sounds like you're allowed to put your own, you have to like fill in the blanks or fill in the gray area yourself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The show is definitely way deeper than we think. So like going like this plot's gonna get wild, I think.
I agree with you. I'm just worried because that was episode 9. So like we have 3 episodes left.
Is there only one season of this?
I don't know if it's gonna be it can't be a one and done. I would be real upset if it was a one and done, but no, I think there's only 3 episodes left.
Like that's it.
No, for the season.
Okay, that's fine. As long as it's not like, okay, they find Eden in the next episode. Okay, they figure out what the fuck is going on in the episode after that, and then the last episode is just all hunky dory. You know, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope there's more.
Oh my god, that would be such a rush job if that's what happened.
I'd be so sad because this is a good show.
It would be sad, but I don't know, man. They got a little slippery down the slope with the figuring out the coordinates there. That was a bit of a rush job. I'm not gonna lie.
I hope not. Don't ruin something good.
I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say is that it was a little bit of a rush job at the very end there.
Yeah, but I mean, biggest twist is that Abel is actually her brother. So.
At first, I was like, "Oh wait, hold on a second. Is Abel gonna be like?" What did I write down? Like, it. Oh my god. Oh, I first thought it was the child was between Helena and Abel.
So did I, because he was a prince.
Yeah. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, oh, no, it's with his dad. Oh, no. And then we find out he's half sister.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Kind of weird. I mean, I make a lot of allusions to Game of Thrones, even though you've never seen it. But
never.
Littlefinger was in love with Catelyn Stark since she was a child, since they were both children. She ends up marrying Ned, becomes Ned's wife, and then they have a daughter, and Littlefinger's like 40, and the daughter looks like Catelyn Stark, and then Catelyn, spoiler, dies. So then he's like obsessed with the daughter. So it's like, I guess it's a little different because they're brother and sister.
Are you just seeing a lot of interfamily relationships here, Nick?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you are. I see that. Do you think in the next episode they're going to go to Eden? Whatever happened to El Dorado?
I don't know. I thought the whole goal was to find El Dorado. It was the treasure.
The treasure at El Dorado, right? We're not, this isn't a fever dream. We do remember the words El Dorado being thrown around.
Yes. So I think Fenna's trying to figure out who she is, and she's supposed to be able to figure out who that is when she's at Eden. So maybe Eden is just the step into getting to El Dorado. I don't know.
Maybe that's true. Well, maybe. So, like, does that mean they have different objectives? Like, she has an objective to go to Eden, and they have the objective to go to El Dorado for their little goblin squad. And whatever happened to the other dude, Key?
He's still looming, I guess.
And he never showed up. He just, like, they were talking about how like crazy he was and how much of a killer he was, and like you don't ever deviate from the like assignment that the council or whoever the old ass dude gives you. And they're out here just like freeballing, doing whatever they want. Now they're just stopped. They're just, Yukimaru got hurt. They're just at a doctor's office. Now they're talking about just going to Eden, going to some random coordinates. At the very end, they're like, well, I guess we can go to these coordinates now. It's just like, bruh, weren't you guys not allowed to do anything? You weren't even allowed to change course of direction to go save Yukimaru. And now you're like, just, I guess we're all, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? They're going to arrive at Eden, and Key's just going to show up and just like be a jerk.
Yes, you know that's going to happen. It's going to be, Abel's going to get there too, and the Goblin Knights are going to get there, and then Key's going to come, and it's going to be like a 3-way battle, and
the women are going to show up again.
Out of the fucking dead.
The Rowdy Rebel, Roxboat, whatever it was called, are going to show up again. It's just going to be an all-out 4-way battle just between everyone, and Captain Abel's going to sacrifice. Yeah, I know. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
I don't want to get too negative because I still have hope.
Me too. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't take just a small little story plot hole and exploit it as if it's going to be a downward spiral. I shouldn't do that.
I mean, we're good. We like to bitch, you know. It's fun.
Yeah, why not? You know, it's how it be sometimes, Nick.
86. It's back,
dude. The official kickoff of season 4.
Yeah. So you said this is like an interlude episode, or is it season 4 has started?
Our episode is like an interlude episode because like we don't have anything else to talk about after this, because everything else that we are going to watch starts this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I didn't really understand that. Definitely a start of season 2. So do you remember how season 1 ended?
It was, they cut contact with Lena. They went off into deep into the Legion territory. Everyone died.
Everyone died. Well, so we thought. And then, so season 2, episode 1, towards the end of the episode, we find out that Captain Levi ain't dead. Because nobody's killing Captain Levi.
No one's killing him. No one's taking him down, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, some things happened before that,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, of course he's not dead.
Of course not. So let's go back to our favorite commander.
Yes.
She is the Blood Queen, supposedly.
Yeah, dude, she's back with like vengeance. She's
Oh
got
yeah,
attitude now. I
she's
like it.
she's cold as ice.
And she's like talking back to her superiors, and it's like, I'm just a reflection of your command. So if I'm shitty, that means you're shitty.
She dead ass said that to him. Like she was just like, if I don't do my numbers, you're not getting promoted. So like, if I'm trash, you're trash. And he was like, he was big mad at that because she was right.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Letta, like you're crazy out here. Like, I don't know if like she's wearing a black uniform, which is like not blue like everybody else. She's wearing black, which I'm assuming is like a sort of like remembrance, like a mourning, because you wear black to a funeral. So she's probably in like mourning. And she's also got a red streak in her blue hair now.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she got a red streak in her blue hair now, which I'm gonna say is just like maybe like the bloodshed.
Yeah,
Or like
dude, new hair, new me,
Dude, she's not messing around this season. And it looks like she has a whole new crew that she's kind of managing now.
Yeah, so we only met Cyclops.
Cyclops, yep.
Which is, I guess, the new Shin. It's like their leader. And she's been really successful with the new crew. So she's good at her job, and she's the Blood Queen now.
Yes.
She's like an ice queen, essentially. Yeah. So my question is, how long has it actually been? Because dates have been something that we have not paid attention to at all in this show. And I feel like we need to start to.
Well, I think it was October when we ended.
Okay.
And winter was starting.
So that makes...
Gonna say it's like January, February, maybe?
Okay. That makes a lot of sense as to why they pointed out that it was snowing.
Yeah, I think they were trying to say like this is how much time has passed, a few months maybe.
Okay. Gotcha. That was my biggest question. I was just kind of lost.
The whole like time thing really jumped into my head too. I'm like, damn, we really did not do any. We didn't write down a single date for anything last season to be like, let's just try to see how much time passed. No. And then this new season kicks off and they show us a date. I look right at the numbers and I'm like, yeah, I should really write that down. And I was like, it just was there and it was gone that quickly. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Dude, I thought the exact same thing. Listen, there are YouTube videos on YouTube. Like you can go other places to get the answers and to get the breakdowns that you really want. We are just two dudes, two wannabes that talk about how we feel when we watch something. And that's what you get here. All right.
That's it. That's all.
So we're not going to write down the dates.
So we don't know the dates. We don't know the dates. We don't know the timeline.
It's fine.
We don't get paid for that.
No.
We don't get paid at all.
No.
No to both of those things. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. To try to be smart, we did learn one thing. Okay. We learned a lot of things, but the Legion is completely autonomous at this point in the show. So
yes.
New Kingdom, or whatever you want to call it, it's the
Confederacy of Jihad.
Confederacy of Jihad.
Or Giad.
Giad, whatever it is. They
claim Giad.
That they took over the current country, which is the country that initially created the Legion. And now there's still Legion going on. So like they overthrew the country that created the Legion. But they're still fighting the Legion because the Legion is just autonomous robots, like actual autonomous robots.
Yeah.
So now San Magnolia and Giad are both fighting the Legion at the same time, but I'm assuming they're enemies.
I don't even think San Magnolia knows that Giad exists.
I don't think so either. But when they were talking about what to do with the 86 that they have captured, they're like, what if it's a bioweapon from San Magnolia? So like they know that San Magnolia exists. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they're just kind of like hiding in the shadows of the Legion right now.
Interesting. I don't know, but they look like they're thriving though. Like their city looked vibrant.
Yeah.
But I think the Legion is, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're autonomous. So like no one is manning their warships still.
No,
Like
it's
they're just
just
kind of,
think of it like feral. They're feral robots.
yes, they're feral, which is interesting because like it's then Lena's squad. We have Lena and Fena now. Geez, Lena's squad is fighting these feral Legion drone warships, and like they think that they're doing a good job, but it's like the Legion government doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're not
What are they
fighting them.
fighting?
They're just cleaning up the rest of the bots that are left, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I feel like knowing this information, our crew, the Lena team Lena, is
Uh-huh.
gonna try to make it back to San Magnolia at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a bold prediction because we didn't see a whole lot. It's been one episode, but
Yeah.
like
All right. Do you want to know what I think?
I would love to.
I think everything we've seen about Jihad is fake.
I yeah.
I think it's all some sort of like act, maybe.
Mm.
Um it it gives me the vibes of like when you ever see like, I don't want to talk it gives me like true, like almost like Truman Show type vibes. Like they're all putting on the act for them almost. And it's like they're being accepted into this country. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not. I don't know. There's just something weird about Ernst Zimmerman, who is the
Mm-hmm.
president. Just the way that he kind of like acts and talks. He
Mm-hmm.
feels sincere, but I don't know if he actually is. Um, I just don't trust him as a character. And the reason why I don't trust him is because he's like quote unquote like adopting them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also adopted another small child,
Mm-hmm.
which gives me like really weird vibes. Um, and
Yeah.
like even at, go ahead, sorry.
There was that one line where they're like, "There are these just the replacements?"
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to get to. Like, am I doing this? Am I compensating for something?
Yeah.
Are these the replacements? And then obviously Frederica is there and he calls her Empress,
Yeah.
right? Now, why is he calling this child that he adopted Empress, right?
Right.
I don't really know. I'm having trouble like thinking that this is all good.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. The whole time I'm just like, something is off here.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think something's definitely very much off with what's going on. I like we said this so much during like the spring season 2 seasons ago. Like nothing ever good happens in this show,
No.
especially to Shin and his like and his commanding unit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so why would this change?
Yeah.
It wouldn't. I don't think it would. And like
No.
all the toys and like candies and stuff that they had in that table that they left him in that room for an entire month, like it just like screams to me like, I don't know. It just seems so like fraudulent.
Yeah. And he had like his motivation was very generic
Mm-hmm.
and phony. It's like I can't remember the exact words he said. It was kind of cool the way they put it, but it was essentially like a society that turns away children doesn't deserve to be a society,
Better
essentially.
off dead. Yeah.
So like, or maybe we're just so jaded that because we know that everything has been bad so far that things are actually good. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I just feel like that was such a weird thing to say. Like, that was such a culty, like, I want to control everyone type of vibe. Like, calling adult, like, I mean, I know they're in their late teens, but calling them like children
Mm.
in that context felt very like cult like to me,
Yeah, I
you
swear if this
know?
is like some simulation thing that's going on right now, I'm gonna be mad.
Oh my God, a simulation. I haven't even thought of that. That would be like, do you think everything is a simulation and they're like bodies sitting in like tubes just being fucking projected?
Yeah, like they're actually part of the Legion now, but this is like what they're seeing, you
Oh
know.
my God. Could you imagine?
I'd be pretty mad.
Like their brains are in the Legion robots, and like this is their way of like convincing them to get it. Because they even said like, I want to put them in the like our war machines. And he's like, you can talk to them and ask them, but like, what if this is a way for the Legion to convince them to fight for them?
Dude, yeah, because we know that the Legion takes the brains, and that's how they power the air. Like, what if there's like a convincing period where the vessel, they don't quite fit the vessel yet, and the brain has to want to do it. It's
wow, like
good
a
idea.
manufactured consent right there.
Good theory.
Good theory. I feel like though, like we still have Lena though, and we still have her Commander Cyclops, which she seems like a badass risk taker. I can just like see them trying to go in and save them.
Yeah, if she finds out that they're still alive, that's
like what
is
is
the whole thing.
It's weird though, because like what is save? Like you can't save people because they can't fit in San Magnolia, so like you can't like go and rescue them because like they're not wanted in the country that you live in.
Right. Wow, this episode's way deeper than I thought it was.
I think you're right. It's kind of crazy. Sorry, my thing fell off.
That's okay. I had one more tidbit question.
Sure.
The Empress daughter, Empress girl, what was her name?
Yeah.
Frederica.
Yeah.
Is she the voice actor of Hawk from Seven Deadly Sins? That was my question. I could have just looked it up. I'm gonna Google it right now.
Oh, I think we both. Okay. No, I mean we can both look it up. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't want to look at. Okay, let me just voice actor.
Right, you got it.
Speaking of Seven Deadly Sins, they put the movie. Netflix, the last, I think, episode, like before the last episode or after the last episode, I don't know when the timeline is, but they put the last movie on Netflix, but they haven't finished the season yet. So if you watch,
it's like canon, like it's the end of the show.
It's canon. It's the end of the show. Yeah.
This show just went so downhill.
Oh, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Netflix did it dirty.
Nick, it is absolutely the voice actor from Hawks. Oh my God.
I was like, I've heard this annoying voice before.
Oh my God. And she's done a lot of stuff too. She was removed from Dungeon of Black Company, which was from last season. She does a lot of like children, essentially. Pretty much just all children and Hawks. Yeah.
Cool. I was like, this is it. At first I was like, is this Happy from your show? And then what's your show? Fairy Tale. I was like, is this Happy from Fairy Tale? And I was like, no. So yeah, it just seemed too familiar. It's a very unique and annoying voice.
That's fucking awesome. Sorry. That's so fucking funny that you picked that up. I did not. I really didn't.
It's like I said, it's an annoying voice. I'm not gonna forget it.
It really is. All right. I guess and then next week we'll have all our new episodes. And yeah.
I mean, are we gonna rate what we watched?
Well, okay, so let's just cut it for now. I'm thinking that we can make this into 2 episodes. So like, or what do you like? The first half we just did will be episode 45.
Yeah.
And then the next episode, then we because this will be 2 different things. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think it should be 2 different things or 2 one the same episode?
Yeah, we can let's just end it. Say just how we normally ended. It was a quick one, only 2 shows, and then we'll just start up again and say we have a special episode.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much for coming to the 45th episode of the Aki Culture Club. I know this was a super short one, but next week we'll have more stuff to watch. We're your two wannabe weebs, where we detail the season's newest shows, and now we actually do analysis of some old favorites. You can find us at akiculture.club or at Aki Culture Club on social media.
That's it. There's only one way to end it.
Peace out.
See you.
Da-da-dum.
Let's just roll right into it.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. And what's up, everyone? I'm Damien.
And I'm Nick.
And this is the special episode of the Aki. Yeah, we'll do that one more time. What's up, everyone? I'm Damien.
And I'm Nick.
And this is a special episode of the Aki Culture Club.
What's going on, boys and girls and everybody in between? Welcome to this very special episode of Aki Culture Club. Today,
welcome.
We are going to rate season 4. Is this season 4 of Aki Culture Club? Or season 3?
We're going to rate season 3.
Season 3. I should know this coming into it.
That's
but
okay.
We had some great shows. We had some duds. And we're just gonna. We got some special episode planned.
Mm-hmm.
Take us away, Damien.
All right, let's jump right into it, Nick. We watched 7 shows this season. We had 6 originally, and we dropped 1, and we carried 2 over from the season prior. So this season, we watched from last season. We watched Tokyo Revengers and To Your Eternity.
We did.
We also, exclusively for season 3, we watched My Hero Academia, Moonlit Fantasy, Peach Boy Riverside, and The Detective Is Already Dead. We also added, midway through the season, Fena, Pirate Princess.
Dude, so much anime.
And then on top of that, I watched quite a few shows on my own, and we'll get to those at the very end.
Perfect.
So I feel like we should just jump right into the first. I think we should go from worst. Not worst. I don't know. The Detective Is Already Dead.
I mean, do we even rate it? Just
thumbs down. I do have a confession to make. I'm starting with a confession right off the bat. Okay. I watched the entire show.
What?
I watched it from till the very end.
Yeah. Well, how'd it go?
It was absolute dog shit. You did not miss a single fucking thing, Nick. I don't even know if I can really describe it to you how poorly written and executed this show was. Essentially, the girl gets Siesta's heart, and Siesta can communicate to the MC through the girl.
Ew.
They're sharing a body, and they can communicate with each other, and they can flip on and off, and her eyes can turn blue and become Siesta again and talk to him through that. And then they defeat the chameleon monster from episode 1 on a cruise ship. And then that's it. That's it.
Honestly, it's not worth the time for the rating. If you ask me, just give it a number, Damien.
A 3.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd say it's
one of the worst we've watched.
Yeah, definitely. I think Promise Neverland's definitely
season 2.
I think Promise Neverland's the worst. I think Detectives Are Dead is second to the worst for sure. Okay,
toilet bowl.
Well, flush it down the toilet. And actually, I think this will become the next butt of our jokes for bad anime. So maybe we'll retire the Promise Neverland and pick up The Detective as our dog shit trophy. Okay, next show, Peach Boy River. The next show, Peach Boy Riverside.
So we are going from worst to best, aren't we?
I don't know. Maybe just get it out of the way. You know, that's how we did it during the season.
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Okay.
I'll go first for this one.
Sure, let's hear it.
So we came in hot, and later we found out that it only came in hot because it was actually out of order. So we got right into action in the first episode. I had high hopes for the show. I thought it was really cool. The hidden power that she had, the whole Peach Boy lore. I thought that was so neat. The battling was pretty cool. Frau. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do a favorite character section, but Val's probably my favorite character out of all of the. She's just like, she was great, and just right off the bat, great.
She was.
But then everything was out of order. Awful. It's just the worst. Like, it just made no sense. And the whole like, I'm gonna befriend everyone, and like it's a novel idea that they had. Like, she's gonna stop discrimination, but it was like she didn't even give like a powerful speech or anything. No talk, no jutsu, nothing. It was just like, I'm just gonna do it. That was pretty much it. Just like no weight behind her words. So nothing. So my rating is gonna be a 5, which is the lowest rating I've given.
Yes.
So far. I'm only giving it a 5 is because I enjoyed it in the beginning and then I hated it. So
I agree.
That's it. Got a 5. It.
Yeah, a 5 is definitely a good way to put it. I actually realized that we never kind of like went over. For us, should 5 mean average?
Yeah, we should go over this. So 10 is like the best.
Perfection.
Perfection. Like
perfection.
There's select few can get up there.
Yeah.
9 is great. 7 or 8 is like I would say a 9 is like, it's not quite perfection. There were some down points, but
I would say excellent.
Excellent. You loved it.
Yeah. And then I'd say 8 is great.
Okay.
Because it rhymes.
It does.
And I'd say like 7 is good. 6 can be decent. 5 can be average. I don't know. 6 I feel like is palatable.
Yeah. It's like it didn't make you mad.
Yeah.
But it was just me.
So 6 is palatable. 5 is just bare bones average. You didn't like it or you didn't dislike it. There's some good, there was some bad.
4 is like, it was bad, but like some of the characters were cool.
Yeah.
You know, like they had a few redeeming qualities. 3 is terrible writing, terrible characters. 2 is like, all right, you don't deserve a 1 because like you made me laugh once or twice.
Yeah.
And then 1 is just like, it's just complete ruined a show.
Horrific.
Yeah.
1 is horrific. All right. I think that's it, actually. That's really great, like, breakdown.
All right. So I'm still sticking with a 5 because it had a few redeeming qualities, but
okay. So I think that you made some really great points about the show and why it was good and why it was bad. Personally, I think that it would have been a better show and would have like achieved itself as a 7 if we were in order of storytelling. I also think that it kind of lacked in scenery design. I felt like the backgrounds were kind of lackluster, and there were some portions of the show where the art of the actual characters was kind of off. It wasn't all the time, but it was definitely enough for me to like take notice and be like, okay, like I mean, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna harp on poor animation or poor character design a lot, because like the people who are creating this aren't making that much money. Their working conditions aren't that great. They're under really strict deadlines. I've kind of been there, so I kind of know how it feels to be under strict deadlines in that context. Not the exact context of art, but design. So I do want to give them like some slack in some areas, especially with how much they're getting paid and what their labor is actually worth. But I do think this is, for me, it's going to be a 4.5. I think it was, for me, it was a little bit below average. It just wasn't something that I would, even if there was a second season, I might check it out, but I wouldn't stick around if it had some of the same major flaws that we're experiencing in season 1.
I like it. So 4.5, 5, which we average them together, 4.75.
4.75.
That's a solid rating.
Solid. Well, for that.
Yeah, I mean, we have solid opinions on a rating.
I like that much better.
Yeah.
Okay, so some stuff from last season. To Your Eternity.
Do you wanna go first on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think To Your Eternity did a really great job in the first episode of capturing its essence of the show. and it really made us feel for the character in of itself. There were times throughout the show where I felt that Fushi was not really understanding his assignment as well as he should have. And what I mean by that is he wasn't growing properly. There were times where Fushi didn't change from the boy's form for a few years, and he wasn't progressing as a character as much as I'd like. Even after the deaths of some really, really great characters, like I didn't really like March was okay. I liked March. I didn't like Gugu in the very beginning, but towards the end of Gugu's life, I was really, really liked him as a character, which made me just feel how great the writing actually was for me to not like a character to liking a character. Um, but I just feel like after the death of Gugu, I feel like Fushi should have learned some lessons that he could have taken with him to the Jananda Island arc, which he didn't. And for that, like, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. So I'm going to give To Your Eternity. With that being said, the intro was amazing. I really enjoyed the characters. I think Fushi could have used a little bit more work in massaging as a character as a whole. So I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Okay. I like your rating. I mean, that's the exact number I was going to give it. I think they did a very good job at making you like characters very quickly. And I mean, yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. And it's a unique story that I haven't seen yet. That just the whole idea of what To Your Eternity is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what drew me in from the start, was like, where could this go? And you hit the nail on the head. That was perfect.
Now,
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 as well.
All right, good. To Your Eternity, walking away with an 8.5.
That's good. That's a good rating.
It is good.
Yeah. What's next, Damien? What's next on the docket?
So we'll do another show that we carried over from last season. That'll be Tokyo Revengers.
It's hard for me to give 10s to shows because a 10 is like flawless,
Yeah.
Where like I am super excited for every episode and I come away just wanting more every time. There was, in the beginning, I didn't like this show very much. I was bored with it. I was like, why are we watching this? And that's kind of my own fault because like I like fantasy stuff. But the writing in this show, the character development, there's like Baji. Think of Baji. Like we hated Baji. We didn't really even know Baji, and then we hated Baji, and then we loved Baji, all in like a span of like 3 episodes. And it's like, there were episodes of the show that left me like hollow inside afterwards. Like they hit so hard. So, but the beginning, like the first quarter, I would say, was pretty slow. And because of that, I'm going to give it a 9 and not a 10. I think this has 10 potential when we get into the second season. But toward the end of the season, like every episode was a cliffhanger, and I was just like, I did not want it to end.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with that last point that you just made. Towards the end of the show, it was like every single episode was a cliffhanger, from the Bloody October like fight that they had to like their skirmish where Draken almost died with Takamichi getting stabbed in the hand. All of that was like really, really, it was just fun. I enjoyed every episode of that point. I even liked it in the very beginning. I do think that there were some issues that I have with their little junkyard fight that they had. While I thought it was amazing, I didn't necessarily think that Baji needed to die. I think a lot of the issues that they had, especially with Kazutora, was like they could have solved not with Baji killing himself, but like maybe through like, I don't want to say talk no jutsu because that would suck, but like, I don't know. I feel like some of their stuff could have just been like talked through. Like almost like, I don't know if that was like something you had to kill yourself over. And like, I don't know, it felt kind of weird that way. Like, I feel like Takamichi's time travel is like fully fleshed out. We don't like fully understand it, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. Maybe by the end of the show, if they haven't fully explained it, then I would be a little upset. But I also think that the last episode with them being in the future was like really awesome, and the cliffhanger that it left us on was done really well, and I think it makes us really excited for season 2. Just so with that issue and that like a little bit of writing with Baji committing suicide, I kind of want to give it like a 9.25.
All right, we'll round up for that. We're not going to give it 9.1, whatever.
What did you say yours was? 8 point?
Mine was a 9.
Oh, yours was a 9. Okay.
So let's stick with 9.25 because I was on the edge of going higher.
Okay. All right. 9.25.
Ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's right there.
Next one. Yeah, these are shows that we directly watched. God, I can't keep this mic straight, bro. This one is something we directly watched throughout just season 3. So that first one being Moonlit Fantasy.
Is it your turn to go first, Mike?
I think it's you go first on this one.
Okay.
I think this is one that you need to talk about.
I love this show. Mm-hmm. The humor was amazing. The just like stakes weren't there throughout. Like there was no consequence throughout this whole show, and it's like something I've never really seen before. I've watched a few isekais. I can't even remember the name of it. The one that everyone's watched. And I like the concept of it, but they always get like the it's repetitive after if you've seen a few of them. But this one kind of just like threw out all the norms. Like it was aware of itself from the beginning, and like the fourth wall was kind of broken a lot. Having this OP character like that could lead to very boring show, like a boring show, because there's, like I said, there's never any consequence, but this was never boring. Like they handled it so well. Big fan of the characters, big fan of the internal conflict between them, even though it's not serious. And the end of the show of the season finally introduced some conflicts, because we see that like a greater war is happening. It's not just like he's not just going to be OP throughout the whole thing. There's going to be people who can actually fight him. Yeah, I mean, it was just a delight the whole way through. It's not a perfect show, for sure. Like I wouldn't put it above Tokyo Revengers, but every time it came on, I was happy.
Yes,
so I agree. I'm going to give it 8.5.
Okay, so I agree with you. This was like a show that I enjoyed watching every single week. There were some weeks with other shows that I was like, I don't really, I'm not really excited for what I'm about to watch, and either being pleasantly surprised or sorely disappointed. With Moonlit Fantasy, I never felt that way. I always felt excited and kind of like satiated with how good it was, The only thing that I feel like was a little not like slow, but I'm not sure. Like he gets all these amazing powers and he has to find his parents or figure out who his parents are. And he gets these 2 amazing characters or 3 amazing characters that can support him in any way that he wants, that are super OP, just like he is. And he spends the entirety of the season trying to like suppress himself. He wears a mask, he wears chains, he wears armor that all kind of hoard his magic down to make him not as like not like known to others, to humans. Now, was that to like stop it from the goddess knowing who he was or where he was at? Because at the very end, she was like, gotcha, and then transported him to that battlefield where she had to fight the demons. I don't really know. I don't really remember if that's specifically what happened, but I do know that like I did find that to be pretty weird that that's how that went. I feel like he should have been using his powers a little bit more and maybe not be like a merchant, but like actually get out there and like maybe like fight a little bit more or like progress the story, as in like to travel or to see other things. I thought it was weird it took him to like the last episode of the season to be like, I'm going to go off and like learn more about magic and humans and all that stuff. It's like, I feel like if I was transported to a new world and I was as strong as 5 demon kings and I had like these magical like companions that were OP, I would want to know a lot more. Um, but I give it a, I'd say like an 8,
8.25. That's the average.
8.25.
A good show, not great, but always entertaining.
Absolutely. And then our final show of the season, My Hero Academia season 5. Now it's interesting because I'm looking at all my other My Hero ratings, and I gave season 1 a 7, season 2 a 7, season 3 an 8, season 4 a 7. And I'm sitting here trying to think, what should I give season 5? Now, the first half, I guess it's broken into 3 sections, right? We have the joint training, and then we have the Endeavor Agency arc, and then we have My Villain Academia. Now, I kind of felt like the first arc, the joint training arc, while a little bit long, and it was only 10 episodes, so it's not really like long and by any means, especially with some like the older stuff that I'm watching right now, Naruto. Like it was really cool to see 1B's powers and like to see them kind of grow as characters and see how cool that they were. It almost made me mad a little bit because I think that some of 1A's abilities and characters were actually way stronger than 1A. 1B was way stronger than 1A in some capacities. And I felt like they deserve that spot in 1A over 1B. But as much as I understand it, they're not like they're not like one is better than the other. They're both kind of just the class separated. So they're all still the same. They're still all the same level. It just depends on if you're in A or B. Which I think is weird that they just broke it down like that. I don't know. It'd be like section 1 and section 2. I don't know. And then the Endeavor Agency arc, I think, was like, it was short, it was sweet. We got down to the nitty gritty of who Endeavor is. And then My Villain Academia was like, I don't know how much. It's weird. It was just amazing. Like I to see that type of like storytelling out of My Hero, especially with Tamura, I thought was like almost it was like it changed my perception of My Hero Academia. And it's not that I had a bad perception of it in the past. I think it's a good show that's really enjoyable. And if anyone's trying to get into anime, I definitely recommend it a show for them to watch. But like this changed it from like sort of like passive enjoyment or just like general happy enjoyment to like, holy crap, like they have some dark and gritty details and some stories to tell, and things are actually going to like happen with real world, like real actual consequences. But with that being said, I think My Hero season 5 for me is going to get an 8.
All right. I think you had some really good points. Yeah, definitely the beginning. Just I wasn't excited for the beginning when the tournament arc and all of that. I was so happy when it was over. Without My Villain Academia, this probably would have got like a 6 for me.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But you hit the nail on the head that it changed my perception of the show. It's real now. And it's pretty much just been the whole show's been a build up to where we're about to get to. But it was just perfection. My Villain Academia was so good. So like I said, without that, a 6. With it, I'm gonna give it an 8 as well.
Nice. So My Villain Academia scored itself an 8.
Bing.
Ding.
That's the sound effect.
All right. And that comes to Davian gets fired up. I'll make this short and sweet. So, as everyone knows, that I watch a bunch of other stuff that Nick and I don't watch together and talk about. I watch it on the side for the season, mainly because just like I like the variety. I think it's a bunch of stories to tell. Stuff interests me. I'm going to watch it. So, some stuff that I watched and dropped this season. I know this may not be, some people might not agree with this. I dropped the Edith and Didi's Will Only Know Peace. That was a favorite. I actually dropped 2 favorites from this season that I think people might be upset with. One of them is Eden Didi's. It just got to after the second episode. At the end of the first episode, there was a rape scene. I just didn't think it really added much to the show, and it was kind of trying to be like a little too edgy. In the second episode, I just didn't follow the show after that. I just didn't think it was. I don't know. There's just a lot of other things I was watching. It just wasn't really something that I was interested in progressing with. Will it be something that I pick up maybe in the future just to like kind of watch again? Yeah, I think so. But for right now, it just needed to get the drop. Another show that I dropped was Remake Our Life. The first episode was 45 minutes long. Not to say that's a bad thing. I just wasn't really expecting it. So I think that I count that as like 2 episodes watched. Yeah, it's a slice of life. I'm already watching other slice of lives that I was like enjoying much more, which was the Aquatope on White Sand. Just finished up episode 13 of that. So this is something that's another show from this season I'm currently watching still. Um, you know, I do like slice of life animes, but this one I was just like, not really feeling it. I wasn't really that into it, so I dropped it. The other one that I watched 6 episodes of and dropped was the case study of Vanitas. It was about vampires being born and like differing factions between red and blue fighting each other. It was a good show. I got kind of lost by the 7th episode, and when I'm watching 15 other shows, I can't afford to be getting lost. So I kind of just put it on pause and put it on the drop list for now. I might come back to it when there's time, but for now, it's a no-go. Another show that I watched that was an absolute dumpster fire, but it was absolutely amazing at the same time was Girlfriend. And that's just a harem anime between this kid that's in a relationship with one girl, and then another girl proposes a relationship to him, and it's just a tumultuous time for everyone involved after that. It was fun. A lot of people are going to hate it. I thought it was really funny. Is it garbage? Yes. But is it still good? Also, yes. I don't know what to rate Girlfriend off the top of my head, actually. I feel like it should get like a 7, like a 6 or a 7. And my mic just keeps going over constantly. It won't stop. 1 second. Just about to buy the Elgato arm. Call it a fucking day. This thing is junk. Yeah, and then 3 more left. Battle Game in 5 Seconds was like the super smart character that was supposed to outsmart everybody, and it's called Battle Game in 5 Seconds because you're supposed to start battling in 5 seconds. I think it took itself like a little too seriously, but the writing wasn't fully there, which I thought was not like bad, but I feel like there were times where I'm like, wow, like you guys are trying to be smart, but you're like not really being smart at all. It felt like the character was like a Save-A-Lot or Great Value version of Light Yagami from Death Note. And I just think that like it could have been better if they like maybe lightened up just a little bit or were actually intelligent about it. But it felt like edgy for no reason a little bit. And then like at the end, the main villain Ugami, they decided to do CGI for him. So it's just a CGI character with everyone else's 2D around him. And I just thought it looked so janky. I did not like that at all. And I have no idea why they decided to do it. Maybe it was a cost thing or just like a time thing. I have no idea, but I thought it was really terrible. Never do that ever again. Yeah, it was horrible. And just like watching him just like float like this, and his hair is like floating and all CGI. It's just like, dude, no one else is CGI, bro. Like, did you catch the memo? Like, I don't think so. I gave it like a 6.5, like a 6. It was okay. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say like I wouldn't tell you to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe I would. Maybe I would tell you to watch it, but I don't know if you'd like it. That's probably a better way of putting it. Dungeon of Black Company is essentially if we just like let capitalism go unfettered, and then you take someone who like wins at capitalism and then like makes them to like be a worker, but they're also like an asshole kind of. I thought that show was good, but by the end of it, it's just like, what happened to the original fucking point of the show? Like it. You're just like, I have no idea. I don't know. It was kind of convoluted towards the end. You're just like, why are you time traveling in the future, going back to the past to save a company from the future? I thought you were just mining fucking demonite ore for the goddamn company, and now you're going into the future and going back and forth, and you have like this. It was okay. I give it a 6.5. I give it a 7, 6.5, 7, right. 6. Fuck it. And then last one, which I think was my favorite of like the Damien. And I think the last one, which is my favorite of the Damien Gets Fired Up, is Ari Main, which is the water polo sports anime of this season. I thought the writing was like really great. It told a good story in just 12 episodes. There were some like the way it's not just normal like kid is in a ragtag water polo team and they need to figure out how to win the championship. There's a little bit more to that. The way that the main character Minato changes throughout the show, and he changes multiple times for very interesting reasons, I think is really cool. I don't know if it's been done elsewhere, but memory loss, it was interesting. On him regaining his memory, gaining his memory, his character, who he was as a person, why he was that way, why his character was that. It was really interesting. I give that an 8.5. Actually, I thought it was really enjoyable.
All right,
and that's it. That's it for Damien Gets Fired Up.
That's it for Aki Culture Club season 3.
Season 3. Yeah. Join us next week as we watch season 4. We have brand new overlay coming. Yeah, you'll see segments. More of our faces, new segments, new overlays, new characters, new everything.
It's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be great. Everything's just slowly incrementing and getting better.
Oh yes. Except I looked a little overexposed in this video. Too much light.
It's all right.
Too much light, Nick.
It's okay.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to our season 3 review. We're your 2 wannabe weebs, where we do things. Now we
do things, man.
Oh my god, I forgot the outro already. I need to eat something, bro. I'm hungry. This is your after school podcast with 2 wannabe weebs, where we details the season's newest shows and announces the old favorites. And in this special episode, we went over all the ratings for all of those shows. You can find us at Aki Culture Club or akiculture.club.
That's it, man.
I need to eat, bro. I'm sorry. I'm so hungry.
It. No, we're good.
We'll see you all next week. We'll see you all next week.
See you.
There's only one way to end it.
Peace out.
Peace out. Oh, man, this is terrible. All right.